clout, I just chase liquidity. Flexing these games with obscene stupidity. My pockets so fat, they got obesity. I'm a vet in the flesh, I control the velocity. Job spin whenever I step in a frame. Algorithms glitch when they register my name. I'm aware you're the bait, it's a predator game. Portfolio fire, your candles just flame. Stack it up, rack it up, profits obey. Every line searching in a bullish display. Money gon' move in the words I say. Cash flow fractals bow down to my plate. I shut the whole squad, then I buy back the deal. Pocket so heavy, got the NASDAQ tip. Options unlocked like a Wall Street script. Your calls out of the money, my put still drip. I'm chaos refined, I'm the broker's nightmare. Liquidity drive, and I'm setting it right there. Legs in the ticker, I don't fight fair. Gains all the child while you stuck mid-air. Stack it up, rack it up, profits obey. Every line searching in the bullish display. Money gon' move in the words I say. Cash flow fractals bow down to my obligation, that's green, not a gremlin. Dividend check, got my ego swelling. Brokerage apps, treat my trades like a felon. Cause every damn candle's a story I'm telling. I'm the reason the shorts need a therapy session. The reason the bulls get divine intervention. Portfolio balance like nuclear fission. I bend every chart to my soul definition. Stack it up, rack it up, profits obey. Every line searching in a bullish display. Money gon' move in the words I say. Cash flow fractals bow down to my face.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning, campers. We're back at it again, and I'm feeling awfully freaking good this morning. I hope you are too, because if you are, that means you not only saw the market this morning in the little pre-market action, but you also swung a bullish position over the weekend. And right now, we look to be gapping up to the tune of 0.5%. So if you had some highly leveraged, highly degenerate derivative plays, that means you made a good chunk of money, or at least on paper, you're currently up a good chunk of money. Who knows what in the world's going to be happening by the time actually the bell goes dingity ding ding and all that good stuff. But right now, the bulls are in control. The bulls are on a parade. They are on a stampede. They are doing whatever you want to call it, but things are looking mucho bueno. So here's the goal. I'm going to be breaking down what you should be paying attention to for today, but also the fact that it's the start of the week. We're also going to talk about some of the larger things such as like seasonality and those types of influences. We do have some political news related to just basically the government shutdown. And then from there, I'll be giving you all those key levers for the overall market, SPX, SPY, QQQ, IWM. And then from there, we could even dive into some individual equity news, because early this morning, we see some interesting things going on with Tesla, going on with NVDA, going on with Palantir, going on with Open. It's basically like the retail classics are all looking pretty good. So I hope you guys are ready for it. I hope you woke up to a great weekend, but seeing your portfolio very, very green this morning. And that's pretty much the plan. That's pretty much the plan. I hope it sounds good to all of you. Now, very, very quickly, before I get fully rocking, shout out to public. I think I actually have to give you this legal disclaimer as well. Obviously, you understand that if you engage in the markets, there is financial risk, and that should not be taken lightly. Also, obviously, shout out to public. They are the partner of today's show. As you guys know, I have hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I will show you my account today with public because I like to be as transparent as I possibly can. But there's a reason why I trust them with basically all of my money when I'm actively trading. It's because these guys guys are the real deal, in my humble opinion. And beyond that, beyond the fact that I just like them, I like the way that they had their clients back, actual retail traders back in 2021. Maybe that means something to you, maybe it doesn't. More important than that is mathematically, financially, this is a no-brainer. If you're an option trader, an aspiring option trader, this is the only place that you're going to be earning a rebate, as in money back. You will be earning money back every single time you trade an options contract. Doesn't matter if you're buying or selling, doesn't matter if it's a call or a spread, if it's a multi-leg strategy, you're going to be earning more of a rebate. So for me, this is the only brokerage, at least that I know of, that does it. So beyond that, obviously no payment for order flow when they do stock trading. They have crypto trading, they have bond trading, they have high yield accounts, they have retirement accounts. This is what you need, and there's a good reason why I've been partnered up with them at this point for almost like 2 years. So if you're watching this right now and you probably have heard me say this before, but you do not have a public account quite yet, this is the time to do it. There's no risk to you to at least check it out. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Make sure you use that link because you're going to start out at a higher rebate tier. So if you want to start earning more money more rapidly as you actively trade on public, check that out. All pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video. And on that note, let's take a look, you see, at the actual market. Stock futures rise as Wall Street tries to rebound from a losing week. So if you look across the board right now, things are looking pretty freaking good. SPY gapping up, Qs gapping up, Russell gapping up, Bitcoin even getting a little bit of a reversal. And the last time I looked at it, gold was also ripping. Actually, everything's kind of going up as the dollar's going down. And that means, look at this, the dollar in the bottom right of your screen, the Dixie right here, DXY, the US dollar index, is absolutely plummeting as everything else is just ripping. Like I said, I hope some of those pre-market gains are looking real good for you. So, of course, I want to get into it. Like I said, I'm going to get the seasonality. I'm going to get you the key levels as we always do. But on the larger scale, just some political stuff, especially if you're in New York like me. Eric Adams ends his re-election bid, reshaping race for the New York mayor. Exit might boost former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's chances against Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani. So Eric Adams stepping out, and before this, I mean, the odds are not good in general for anyone else. Like you could see since he stepped out, Andrew Cuomo, the blue line, at least according to Polymarket, a slight uptick, but still the reading is coming in at 14%, 1-4, as in not likely he wins whatsoever. Zohran, on the other hand, basically dropped from 86, 87 down to 85. So even though the dropout, I mean, I think it's a little dramatic to say that it's reshaping it, but hey, I guess call it however you want to. But according to the betting markets right now, Zohran very much still has the lead. So that's a little bit of New York specific, New York City specific. Just kind of crazy that we are at a point of an identified, like self-identified socialist most likely going to win. I just found out that he's like in his mid-30s. I don't even know if he's in his mid-30s. It might be like 33, 34. I found that surprising. I also found it surprising that he's never had a job. So that's interesting, never having a job to being the city mayor, like the New York City mayor, which kind of wild. Anyway, also on the political front, you might have missed this on Friday. You're fired. So Trump, this is from Trump's own account here, which I found to be pretty crazy. But Donald J. Trump, the sitting president, using an AI-generated photo of basically saying he's going to fire Powell. And right here you have Powell, I guess, leaving with his plant, his books, his coffee mug. So that got posted on the 27th. And hey, maybe there's a little bit of people reading into it. Maybe it has something to do with the market gapping up, or maybe it's just the whole case of causation isn't correlation. But I just wanted to let you know that when the president, the administration, maybe he did it himself, maybe he had a staffer do it, I don't know. Someone had enough free time to generate this photo, and obviously it's going to be a bit more specific this week because of how many jobs are coming in. So the timing of, actually now, this is new. President is now speaking at 1:15 today. At first, this was not on the schedule. So anyway, maybe he's going to talk about it. That's the first time I'm seeing it. So, hey, shout out to everyone that President Trump will be speaking at 1:15 today. Anyway, maybe he's going to be talking about that. If you guys know what he's supposed to be speaking on, that would be awesome. If you guys in chat could let me know what is or isn't going down. But anyway, The timing of this, I don't think, is just like random. Obviously, as you can see for the remainder of this week, the story here is jobs, 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 and more jobs. JOLTS job openings tomorrow, ADP non-farm employment on Wednesday, initial jobless claims on Thursday, and then non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate on Friday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 4 out of 5 days of this trading week, we are getting some sort of information related to jobs. And remember, when it comes to jobs, that is half of the dual mandate for the Fed. One thing is price stability, aka inflation, supposed to keeping us on that longer term target of 2%. The other half of the mandate is jobs and a strong labor market, and maybe if it's not strong, at least not weak. So maybe I'm reading into this a little bit too much, but also I don't think that this is just like a random thing whatsoever. So I wanted to call all that out for you. Right here, President Trump posts cartoon image depicting him firing Fed Chair Powell. President Donald Trump posted on Saturday a cartoon image depicting him pointing his finger and shouting, "You're fired," to Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Fed. The image appears to be AI generated or digitally illustrated, according to analysis by ChatGPT. So crazy that we're at this point, like that is like, we had ChatGPT do an analysis of itself in a weird way. Trump attempted to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook in August and on alleged mortgage fraud in a case that now sits with the Supreme Court with Fed independence on the line. For those of you who have been following that story, it turns out that Bill Paulty, the guy who was like kind of leading that specific charge, he found information he shouldn't have found, like utilized information he shouldn't have had access to, lied about other things. So the case is most likely going to fall apart, not necessarily because of Trump, but because of that one dipshit in his administration. So whether you agree with the Lisa Cook thing or not, please understand that Bill Paulty 100% fumbled the ball on that. 100% fumbled the ball. Granted, I am no lawyer, and we also don't have the conclusion, but I mean, even if you just look at some of the basic news, I would not be surprised as soon as it's over if this actually leads to Trump firing Paulty, because he has proven to be that much of a dipshit. But obviously, time will tell. Expectations for Trump summit low before shutdown deadline. So beyond jobs, one of the hot things of this week, and specifically today, is going to be the U.S. government shutdown. Trump threatens mass firings of federal workers if government shutdown isn't averted, and this was being reported by NBC. So at some point today, Trump will actually be meeting with various members of the Democratic Party to see if we can avoid this shutdown. So that is going to 100% be on the docket today. It's something you got to pay attention to. Definitely can have an impact on the economy, definitely can have an impact on the stock market. Like I'm even saying on a zero DTE basis, so please pay attention. Here's a little bit of a breakdown on the situation from Bloomberg.
President Trump set to meet with congressional leaders, including Senators Chuck Schumer and John Thune, also Congressman Jeffries, at the White House today to see if the Democrats and Republicans can hash out a short-term spending bill and avoid a government shutdown, with federal funding due to expire tomorrow. Bloomberg's Kasia Klimashinska joins us now from Washington. Kasia, what do we know about what both sides want after the weekend?
We know for sure that the deadline is fast approaching. Government funding is expiring on Tuesday at midnight. So on Wednesday, we could see some federal activities closing down unless there is an agreement reached. So on the table, there is a bill that was passed by the Republicans-controlled House. That bill would fund the government the way it is being funded now for another 6 weeks. And Democrats say it's a non-starter. They want the government to take up healthcare subsidies and make sure that those healthcare subsidies are extended so that people don't see basically higher bills for their healthcare insurance later in the year. Republicans need Democratic votes in the Senate. They need at least 7 of those votes. So that's why there's a meeting today at the White House at 3 p.m. President Trump will meet with congressional leaders from both sides, and we'll see whether they make any progress.
So near the end of the day, potentially after the market actually closes, that's when we're going to have that meeting, and we might then be getting the murmurs from it. But I do very much so want to let you know that before that, at 1:15, President Trump will be speaking as well. So another thing to consider with all of this potential shutdown, people getting fired, not getting fired, the unknowns, the uncertainty, and a little bit of the chaos situation is actually having a big impact on assets such as gold and silver, and also the dollar going the opposite way. Gold surges to record on weaker dollar, risks of the U.S. shutdown. So yes, the overall market, we are looking right now to gap up, not necessarily to a new all-time high, but within a fighting distance of new all-time high. So the overall equities market is actually looking very, very, very strong right now. In fact, how far away are we? We're at 6679 and the all-time high is 6699. So we're off by 20 points, which on the SPY is about roughly $2-ish. So anyway, equities market looking very, very strong. As I showed you before, where was gold? Right here. Gold ripping to a new all-time high. So for all my gold bugs in here, to all my, I guess, hard asset lovers in here, congrats to you. The other one looking pretty good. Well, actually, there's various things looking pretty good, but I just wanted to show you what's going on here. Silver also ripping. So that is exploding. So silver's up, gold's up, equities are up, crypto's a little bit flat, and the one thing completely diving is the dollar. The Dixie right here, the US dollar index, ticker symbol DXY, if you want to look it up yourself. This is the comparison of the US dollar against a basket of other stocks such as the euro, the yen, the pound, the Canadian dollar. And you could see as the dollar is going down and down and down on a relative basis, obviously it is losing purchasing power. So part of this is maybe a little fictitiously good. And when I say it's fictitiously good, when the dollar is losing value, remember, all of this is being based in the dollar. When we go up, if it's not going up in an excessive amount relative to the dollar drop off, that's actually not a gain, because if something is going up, but the thing that is going up is actually being devalued by more, if it goes up by, let's say 5%, but it's devalued to the tune of 6%, that's not actually a net win situation. So as crazy as this seems right now, yes, underlying like assets are going up, probably even things like home values, but this isn't necessarily, it's going up on paper because actually the dollar is going down, hence why you're actually seeing things such as gold and silver rip to new record highs. So kind of an interesting breakdown, and it's actually leading us into an interesting time period, because don't forget, we're about to wrap up the end of September here. And October, I know crazy things have happened in October favoring the bears, but if you look at the net situation from October to basically the first half of January, the bulls are in control. Oh, like across the board. Oh, hang on. Let me log in here. How did I get logged out? Is this the right one? I always end up opening this page a little bit too early. Continue. No, use another method. How do I get back into this? I just wanted to show you the individual month breakdown. And I get it. I know that a lot of people are kind of scared of trading in the month of October, but really you shouldn't be, because by the time you look at the seasonality, it is pretty strong. So past 5 years, monthly, guess what? October, November, December, and January, all favoring the bulls. And the period itself kind of actually starts this week and goes to about half-ish way through January, maybe the full way through January, where the bulls are kind of on parade. So I know on the very, very short-term basis, people are stoked right now, but for my swing traders in the audience, seasonality is about to help you. Now, maybe you don't like seasonality at all, and then I guess you could scrap whatever I'm saying. But for those of you who do care about seasonality, kind of crazy that we're getting into a strong period now when we're really not that far away from all-time highs, like at all, especially at market open, which makes me think, is this just going to be a runaway train until the end of the year? So something to consider there. Seasonality is strong, but obviously more impactful than seasonality is going to be these job numbers. Obviously, every single day this week, excluding today, JOLTS job openings, you get some manufacturing numbers, you get some non-farm employment change, you get some initial jobless claims, and you're also getting the biggest one is this Friday, October the 3rd, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate. So that's going to be the granddaddy of them all. That's going to be the real fireworks, but pretty much every single day of this week, that's going to be what we got to pay attention to. So I want to put that on everyone's radar. radar. And of course, if you want the very detailed information, that's exactly what the newsletter is for, mattkohrs.locals.com. It's 100% free. My mod will put it in chat, but it's also in the description of the video. I break down what's going on in the market. I give you a little cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events. And then I give you the seasonality for each individual day. So for my day traders, for my swing traders, depends on your time frame, but I did want to let you know that historically, over the past 27 years worth of information, the Bulls have won this day 40% of the time. Today, Monday, September the 29th, which means the Bears have won it 60% of the time. So technically, the Bears have a 10% edge. And here's a look at the hypothetical equity curve you would have if you bought it open and sold at close. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that this is anything guaranteed. I'm giving you the previous odds of 40 versus 60. So take it, leave it, do whatever you want. For the remainder of this week, tomorrow is leaning bearish. Wednesday is leaning bullish. Thursday's a bit more neutral, maybe slightly, it's maybe slightly bearish. And then Friday's a little bit more bullish. Actually, the most bullish day of the week is Friday, winning 71% of the time. So like I said, I give this out for free. It comes to your email inbox every single Sunday. So feel free to check that out if you are going to find this information useful in any capacity. All right, let's clean this up a little bit more. I'm excited for the market to open. Let's get back to this. How are we looking? Right now, still very, very strong in pre-market trading. How is my buddy Tesla doing? Oh, dude. Oh, brother. It's going to be one of those amazing days. I say that, and I don't know, maybe I worry about it. Maybe I need a knock on wood, or it's one of those things that if you get too jacked up in pre-market, I almost wonder if it's going to disappear, which, hey, the odds of it taking a bit of a hit are actually decently high, unfortunately for me. Remember, we have this concept of a downside gap fill. You could probably see it better here in the SPY. So let me get rid of all of these so there's nothing else on the chart. So the high on Friday, obviously today being Monday, the high is 662.37, which means we have a downside gap fill. We're currently trading at 665. There's a literal gap in the chart. So if you're returning to the show, you know exactly what a gap fill is, a gap trade. But anyway, we are right now opening above the highest value from the previous session. You can see it right here. We are set to open at 665.19. The high on Friday, 662.37. There's a literal gap in the chart from the high to wherever we currently are. This is the gap. And for whatever reason, and there's a lot of thoughts and opinions on why this happens, but what you need to know, like the actual useful trading information, is that with a high likelihood, the market fills that gap. Most of the time, it is filled within the first day. An exorbitant amount of time, it is filled within the first week. It is very, very rare for a gap to stay on the chart, especially in the overall market, for any real amount of time. Does it happen? Yes, but it's also a rarity. Of course, in the market, you're always going to be able to find counter examples, this, that, and the other thing. There's no such thing as a guarantee. There's no such thing as like a perfect setup or something that you could just bet all of the money on. That does not exist. But even as a person going into this, I have a lot of bullish positions on the line, and I would love for this to go. Like, I'm not trying to take the wind out of anyone's sails here, but I do also want to let you know that the odds of this downside gap fill are very, very high. So the way I would interpret that, and remember, I am not your mom. Do whatever you want. It's your money. You can engage with the market of how you would. It means to me that I would not chase this at open. Had I been lucky enough, which in this particular situation, I was lucky enough to swing a bullish position over the weekend, I would basically hope for the open and that we keep going. I would basically be praying at market open. I would not be chasing right at market open if I had no position, just because there is that chance that you could actually scoop this up at either the closing value from Friday or the high value from Friday. So that's how I would handle it. I'm personally in situation A, where I swung it, and now I'm just saying, okay, I hope the trend continues. But had I had no position, it is statistically a very weak play to chase it long right at open because of these odds. So if that were your strategy time and time again, it'd be far better for you to be patient and wait for the downside gap fill, and then at that moment basically do an analysis of, are you still bullish or not? So I just want to give you the odds of hitting the downside gap fill, the odds of hitting the previous closing value on both the SPY, on the Qs, on the S&P 500, on the NASDAQ. very, very high. Is it a guarantee? No. I want everyone to deeply understand that by no means is it a guarantee. But when you consider the odds of this situation, yeah, that is something that wouldn't chase it. But if you're like me, getting lucky, swinging it, you're probably gonna want to just pray at market open. So of course, when the market gets opening, I will show you the Mag 7 options flow. I will show you the S&P 500 options flow. We're going to be talking about these key levels. Speaking of which, right now we are at 6677. So we are roughly right around here. So there is support at 70, a lot of positive gamma right there. This is for the SPX. The next thing is 6,700. But what's interesting is when you take out the 0 DT, we actually have some negative gamma right here at 6,710, which is kind of interesting because that means it's low likelihood. But if it were to happen, if we get above 6,700 and then tilt into negative gamma, we actually have a shot of very quickly running up to 6,740 because remember, negative gamma is not bullish or bearish. It's just where you have quote unquote slippery price action, as in things can speed up. The velocity of the price changes can speed up. So that's something that I want to put on your radar before the market opens. Of course, first you want to hold this support at 6,670. Then you want to take out the resistance at 6,700, which I do expect a lot of 0 DT players to react to that level. But in the rare chance that we get that breakout and we have some classic Monday momentum, this is really going to be an interesting level for me to watch. Now, on the flip side, if we don't hold 6,670, well, then we're talking about a fall to 6,650, maybe 6,640. And then from there, if things really unwind today, if there's a lot of profit taking, the bear case, if you're coming in today feeling a bit more bearish, your reach target would be then 6,610. I did lay all these levels out already. This is in the Discord, but for those of you not in the Discord, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, feel free to take a screenshot. These are all the key levels. As I always do, I mark out the previous high, the low, and the close. Those are the green, the red, and the white lines. This white box is the transition zone. It's considered to be bullish above, bearish below, and this is through the lens of basically how the options are set up, how the market makers are set up, and how they're hedging in one way or the other. But what you really need to know is chop within, bullish above, bearish below. And then the final thing on the screen are all these yellow horizontal lines, which are basically just the major open interest levels, as in where there's a lot of people. It might be one person, it might be a group of people, it could be a ton of people, but regardless, it is where there's a ton of open interest, as in a lot of people are playing those specific levels. And it just happens, especially now with how popular 0 DT trading is and options trading in general, that the market really reacts to these levels. So basically out of the gate, based on where we are right now, 6678, I will be looking for 6670 to hold. But remember, there is that downside gap fill to 49, and we do have that key level at 6650, so a thing to consider, obviously. But anyway, maybe we can hold. And really my upside targets, there are people playing 6690, 6700. This is where the gamma tilts negative 6710, and then my reach target on the day is all the way up here at 6740. Once again, this is just a breakdown of the pure options levels. On the flip side, if we get rejected here, if we don't hold 6670, we have the downside gap fill to 6649. We have the transition zone and another open interest level at 6640. If that doesn't hold, then I'd be looking for the peak all the way to 6610, where someone actually has kind of a large spread on. You can actually see it right here on the net OI, that they have a bit of a call credit spread that's already getting blown out. This could be Captain Condor. The fact that Captain Condor is already getting pressured at the start of the day, I don't know if it's necessarily that group that did it, but it looks very similar. So there is a call credit spread right here, 6670 by 6675, and then there's a put credit spread. Remember, a call credit spread and a put credit spread put together is referred to as an iron condor, and they are betting that we end the day in between these bounds, below 6670 and above 6610. So they're betting that we end the day in here, but it's kind of crazy because out of the gate, they're already getting tested. So this side of it it's seemingly already getting blown out. So I just wanted to put that one on everyone's radar before the market really gets rocking today. Now, remember, shout out to Public. They are today's stream partner. This, in my humble opinion, is the best brokerage for you to be on, especially if you're an options trader, because it's the only one where you earn a rebate every single time you trade an options contract. Doesn't matter if it's a call or a put, buying or selling. You can get even more of a rebate if you're trading things such as an iron condor because there's so many legs. But regardless, this, check it out. It is free to download. It is free to sign up. It is free for you to check out. And then if you like it as much as I do, I think you're really, really going to enjoy those rebates. Pinned to the top of chat in the description. Make sure you use that link because you're going to start out at a higher rebate tier. And as you're about to see at market open, I have quite a bit of money with them, and I'm more than happy to show you my, we have a little bit of profit taken already starting right now going into this. I hope we keep ripping today because that's how my positions are personally like already set up. But I did just want to, I guess, do my job and let you guys know about the odds of the downside gap fill. So I'm hoping that the low odds thing plays out today and we don't get the gap fill, but we're going to see. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right. Well, a little bit of a random puke, like the minute before open. So we're now battling it out right at 6670. Before we were a couple points above this, I was hoping that it would hold, and right now we're battling at it. So I'm hoping that the market does accept this as equilibrium, and then we get this shot at 6690. Obviously, the bear case with this gets rejected, and we quickly puke and get the downside gap fill at 6649. So out of the gate, I'm going to be sitting here. I don't want to really do anything in the first couple minutes because it's a Monday, and on gaps like this, I like to sit back and just see how things are either going or not going. Of course, my anticipation is that there is going to be some profit taking, but hey, 50% of the time I am right all of the time. And the other 50% of the time, I am wrong all of the time. So we're going to see if there's profit taking or not. I just got an alert on Tesla. Tesla breaking out of its range, the high from Monday, the 22nd. So if you're bullish on Tesla, things are looking good for you right now. There's a psychological level at 450. And then for those of you also playing Tesla, I could give you the other key levels. Just happens if you're a swing trader, you might care about this one right here. Tesla currently trading at 450. So 445 is support. No one's really playing 450. I get that it's a big psychological level, but in terms of the open interest, no one's really playing it. What they're playing is 470. So big support at 445, big resistance at 470, and you're basically looking for it to fall down this gamma mountain. So I'm not telling you what to do with your trades. If your target is 450, hey, have at it. Money's money. But for those of you who are like, well, what are for those of you wanting to play actual levels, well, you have actual support at 450 and you have actual resistance at 470. So I just wanted to call that out, that I think there's going to be a lot of people reacting to 450, and I think that they're going to get tricked there. I don't see a real reason to react to this. Like, yeah, maybe in the short term, there's a little bit of profit taking. I totally understand that. But if you're trying to play with the big boys, if you want to get out where the big boys are attempting to get out, it's not 450. I'm not telling you to do with your trade. It's your money. I don't really care, but I'm letting you know that I have skin in the game. And here, I'll show you my own position, and I'll let you know when I get in and get out, but I have no plans of getting out at 450. Here's my position on Tesla. Right there. Tesla 460s, October 17th. I'm up about 13,000. I actually thought it'd be a little bit better, but maybe if we break and rip. If this actually goes to 470, well, that's when we're talking about like a 50K return. So I'm in it. I have skin on the line. There's skin in the game. Skin on the line. That's a silly thing to say. But anyway, I am playing that. NVDA also getting a breakout now. NVIDIA right here. Yeah, NVIDIA, a succession. Higher low, getting a follow through. Basically, at this point, it's targeting the all-time high. Hang on, Tesla. I just got another alert on. It did officially touch 450 there. Maybe I had two lits, but it actually hit 451. So it looks right here. Tesla's having a good day. NVIDIA's having a good day. Apple's actually slightly down. Coin's up by 2%. Hood's up by 2.8%. Hut is up by 2.8%. Q's just got some sort of alert. All right. I'm still worried about this profit taking on the overall market, so I'm trying to not like overreact and do anything too crazy. Palantir flat right now. Oracle slightly down. Broadcom maybe picking up. Maybe an overshoot, fake out breakdown. Maybe Broadcom wants to get going. Maybe the same thing on Meta. It's right at that 50 EMA. Microsoft trying to put in that higher low, looking for that follow through 520. Apple putting in a little bit of a red day for now, but overall trend is pretty strong. Coin trying to bounce back, but not looking the best, just not looking trendy. Hood looks like it wants to put in a higher low. I'd be looking for that breakout of 126 and then targeting a new all-time high, but a nice succession of trying to push. Just got an alert on Netflix. How's Netflix doing? NFLX breaking down. Okay, so it seems like a lot of things are bullish, but Netflix not catching that memo. I was watching HUT just to see if it is going to bounce at any point here, but haven't seen that quite yet. Open is getting hit at the open. Oklo, there is that chance of the upside gap fill. I have an alert just in case I'm interested in playing this, looking for that breakout of 120. No position quite yet. Rigetti going flat. Qubits going flat. IONQ looking a little weak. AMD looking like Broadcom, maybe putting in that higher low. So it seems as if early this morning, the general theme right now is semiconductors are catching a bid. MicroStrategy trying to bounce after a vomit. Bitcoin's up 5%. It was very, very weak last week. Okay, we got some movers. We got some interesting things playing out. The question is, will they keep going? So in terms of individual equities, not only from where I'm seeing you guys comment right now, but really what's moving nicely, Tesla and NVIDIA. Actually, CRWV is now catching a bid too. So these three, Tesla, NVIDIA, CRWV, all looking good. Palantir, it's up a decent gap up, but it's not really trending intraday right now. NVIDIA, SPY, is it just getting rejected? Yeah, it's having a tough time at 6,670. You got some profit takers, unfortunately. It tried to get going, and then starting about 3 minutes into the day, you had some paper-handed bitches start. I can't even really say that. I take that back. The calls are kind of flat. Someone bought puts right at open is kind of what knocked the delta reading down. Let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this one plays out. I'm not necessarily sold. I thought there would be a larger drop in the call line, but as of now, not so much. Not as much as I thought it would be. I am getting my ass handed to me on Palantir and on CRWV at the moment. It's not looking pretty on those ones. Not looking pretty. Doing decently well on Tesla, doing decently well on SPY, and doing decently well on the Qs. Really, where are we at? I don't even want to check that yet. I'm trying to just be patient. I'm trying to not do anything too nuts here. With respect to momentum, the 5-minute just puked on ES. I just got the breakout alert on Avago. We knew we were close to it. It must have just tapped it. So I currently have no position on Avago, but it looks like a little fake out breakdown happened on Thursday, starting to recover. We just took out 1, 2, the past 3 highs in a row. With respect to risk to reward, your reward is pretty good looking to your risk. Like I said, I'm personally not playing this because I already have exposure to semiconductors, especially when you consider my SPY and my Q calls and all that good stuff. But anyway, Avago, it's looking pretty decent this morning. Looking pretty decent. All right, the Q's catching. Okay, so the tech sector is clearly looking strong. Look at the difference between the SPY and the Qs. The Qs already made a new intraday high, while the SPY just made an intraday low in the last minute. So on a relative basis from market open till now, the tech sector definitely having a bit more strength. In fact, the SPY, it's just, this is the battle right here. You're basically waiting to either see, do we get above and hold above 6,670, setting up 6,690, or are we actually it tried to get going there 2 minutes into the day, it got smacked pretty hard. And even though the Qs are trying to get going, especially being led higher by the likes of Tesla, NVIDIA, how is Microsoft is break even, Apple's a little down. Okay, so really it's NVIDIA, the semiconductors, Broadcom, and then also Tesla helping us out. But for whatever reason, the SPY just, we're waiting for this battle. Who wins this battle? Your guess is as good as mine. No one on this planet can tell you definitively, will we break out or will we get rejected? Which is exactly why I pitched to all of you guys. There's no point in predicting. There's no point in predicting. Just react. If we break out and we hold, cool. You have risk. If we get smacked and you think we're going to get the downside gap fill, okay, the recent high is your risk. Just react to the developments. Don't try to predict it. Hey, Matt, can you take a look at HIMS? Yeah. Higher lows, higher highs. I don't like the overall chart. If you're swing trading it, though, I do understand the bull case right here. Getting in at 58 is pretty tough when your risk is all the way down here at 50. I kind of like the entry better on Friday and at 55, risking 50. Like, it's just your risk, especially if you go long right here, it could just be a double top rejection. So you might get smacked here taking on that risk. On the flip side, if you got in on Friday, a little bit better because you had upside. And then if it breaks, it keeps going, great, ride it. So I kind of see it as a swing trade. Like, I understand what you're doing. I have no commentary on it as a day trade. I think a swing trade is reasonable-ish. I think you're a little late. I think the play was on Friday. I think the play was on Thursday, the 18th. I think the play might have been on Thursday, the 4th. Those are all reasonable times to get in. I don't really love the entry right now. And in terms of like a medium to longer term swing play, I think this chart looks shitty. Like, I think that's a really bad looking chart overall. So, I guess my opinion is dependent on the time frame that you're looking at it, but in reality, I kind of like it best for a swing trade. And as a swing trade, I'm not in love with the current risk to reward setup. So probably worthwhile to put on your watch list and see if you could get in with a lower risk setup, a lower risk opportunity. All right, where are we at? Where are we at? What time is it? It is 9:40 right now. Do I have my bot set up? Hang on. Let me switch this over. Okay, as you can see, I haven't traded anything. If those of you who were paying attention on Friday, you know when I left you, I had about $1,200 per account. I had one losing trade in the afternoon, and that's why I dropped to basically 800. So basically, I had 3 trades, and I was up 3 units. And then I ended up giving one of those units back. So I ended up net ahead 2 units on Friday. And then as of today, I haven't made any trades yet, but it does look Monday. I have some Monday specific code that is running. And then is this on 3354, 3354? Okay, it looks like I am ready to rip over here then. So we're going to find out if it trades. You'll hear it if it trades. We'll see. We'll see. The SPY, it's just, it hated that level. Is it going for the downside gap fill? Fuck. Oh, I wonder if I should bail and then re-enter. But knowing my luck, if I bail, that's going to be the pivot point and we're just going to rip from there. Knowing my luck, that's exactly how it's going to go. It's just, it seems like this is very rapidly becoming a self-fulfilling prophecy. Another 14-point drop. Shit. Oh, do I just want to lock it in? Do I want to lock it in and then reestablish? Or do I just want to say it out loud and be like, yeah, I'm totally getting out. And then like the market's like, cool, Matt's out. Now we could rip. Like, do I just need to trick it? Is that the real thing? Can you tell me how far back you backtest a strategy before you consider it likely to be profitable? There's no set date because it depends on your time frame. Testing on the 1 minute is way different than testing on the daily. Like that, how far you're back testing depends on what you're doing. And I would say that's a tough thing to generalize, but I would say you don't want to overdo it with data. I mean, I would say you probably want at least 50 to 100 trades, but even that's not true because sometimes like with things like seasonality, you're not going to get up to 50 trades because that's 50 years worth of data. So it's really, really tough to generalize this, really tough to generalize it. But I would say, I would say that you're going to want at least like 50 trades that you could do an analysis of. But even that, that's not like a hardcore rule. I got HIMS at $33, was looking at it as an $80 play, was wondering if you had a long-term insight. No, I don't know shit about it. When you talk about long-terms, that has nothing to do with technicals, that has nothing to do with options flow. If you're talking about long-term, you're talking about it as a fundamental investment. And I just don't know anything about the fundamentals of HIMS. I tend to stay away from anything somewhat related to the pharmaceutical industry, which is HIMS. So that's actually like my least favorite by far. My least favorite by far out of all the industries, whether it's finance, tech, real estate, consumer staples, discretionary, I don't like healthcare that much, but then even lower than that is like any pharmaceutical related play. I find that in this world of the market, you make more money the more evident your edge. And you can have an edge in pharmaceutical plays, but it kind of requires you to have a knowledge of that world. And within the major sectors of the stock market, pharmaceuticals are by far what I have least knowledge of. So I just don't fuck with it. I think there's a lot better opportunities beyond pharmaceuticals. Once again, this is my own opinion. And hey, if you happen to be like whatever, a person who is obsessed with biology or research, or you're a doctor and you think you have an edge, great, have at it. Don't let me get in your way. But I also know my own skill set, and my own skill set, I do not have an advantage. I do not have an advantage in that world. So I just don't give a shit about it. And I don't really need to give a shit about it in the current market setup when tech is flying like no other. Remember, no person out there has unlimited capital, which means you have to be capital efficient and put your limited finite amount of money where you believe you have the best opportunity. And right now it's hard to think that HIMS is a better setup with a better percentage return than what we're seeing in like this current thematic investment of whether it's, I don't know, quantum computing or AI in general, or right now, maybe you're going into maybe you're playing commodities like gold and silver are ripping. It just feels like there's better opportunity. I'm not saying this one's necessarily bad. I just think there's better opportunity across the board. Oh, brother. The Qs are ripping. The Qs are ripping. NVIDIA's looking really good. NVIDIA's up 3%. LOL, they improve beards and bald spots. Okay. What's the point of that super chat? I know what HIMS does. Like, are you thinking that I don't know what HIMS does? I truly don't understand the point of your comment there. A story to tell. You're going to have to work on your communication ability and try to. I don't. Okay, sick. Are we now just listing what companies do? Is that we're just shouting out what companies do? Just because, love you, man. No Diddy. Keep up the great work and give some good NVIDIA vibes. NVIDIA's looking crazy good right now. Like crazy good. In fact, here's the Mag 7 flow in general, generally up today, but look at NVIDIA's. NVIDIA is just a runaway train. Just bottom left, top right. The people are, no one's touching puts on NVIDIA. They're just buying calls. Let's go with it alphabetically. Same thing on AMD. No one's touching puts. People are buying calls. Apple, no one's touching puts. People are selling calls, buying a little bit starting at 942. Avago, they were buying calls and then now we're kind of flat. Coinbase looks crazy. CRWV, no one was touching puts. They were selling calls and then they turned into buying calls. I just got an alert on Coin, by the way. Robinhood, no one's really touching puts. People are buying calls. Microsoft, people are buying calls. MicroStrategy, they were selling calls. Now they're buying calls. Meta, people sold calls. Now it's flat. Netflix, they were selling and now they're buying calls. NVIDIA, I already showed you that. No one's touching puts whatsoever. They're buying calls and they have not stopped. Oracle, little bit of call selling, but kind of flat. Palantir, jagged, no clear trend. Tesla, they were buying calls and now they're selling calls. Started selling calls about 8 minutes into the day. 8 minutes roughly into the day. So back to the Mag 7 in general. Here's the overall Mag 7. And then here's the overall S&P 500 jagged. We sold for about the first 10 to 12 minutes. And then starting at 940, 942, we kind of double bottomed here. The delta popped back up. So people did buy puts out of the gate and then bought more puts at 938. And then someone a little bit of call buying, but overall no clear like dominant trend thus far. Right. We're just back to this key level. Do we hold 6670? That is the question. If we do, we have a shot at 6690. This is the battle. From a technical perspective, not only is it now the intraday high, which you're looking for that breakout, but it's also that key open interest level that we're just returned to. And once again, attempting to try to predict like who's going to win here. It's a fool's game. Don't do that. Don't be like, nope, this one's a breakout. Nope, this one's a breakdown. All you're doing is trying to play it accordingly. If you were bullish, you like this breakout at 43, your risk is the recent low. Okay, cool. You ride it up and you hope for the breakout, but your stop's already at break even and you now have no risk. On the flip side, if you're bearish and this starts to break down, your risk is this recent high. If you're right, great, you get to ride it all the way down. If you're wrong, you took a little paper cut. Like, that's all it is. It's reacting to the optimal risk to reward setups that ideally overlap with a general like trend that you're already noticing or a general bias. Like, you want more information rather than just randomly doing it. But to be like, no, this is the breakout, this is the breakdown. No one knows. It was a bad joke that crashed. No purpose behind it. Can you check IWM, please? Yeah, sure. IWM. Gap up, already selling off. Oh, hang on. What just happened?
Order submitted.
Fuck. Did it just wick? What just happened there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Not my favorite. What time? 9:50? All right. Come on, Icarus. Not loving it going long at 950. Key psychological level. Oh, shit. Come on, Bookmap. Come on. Faster. Give me the information. I should have updated this before. Shit. I do not like that, Phil. Right, like just so many people react to the 50. Such as going long at a psychological level, not the best of vibes, brother. Come on, can I get a little lucky? Can I get a little lucky? Come on, brother. Bounce it off. Bounce it off the 40. Bounce it. Rip it through the 50, brother. Rip it through the 50. Come on. Having an issue at 46. Not the biggest fan. Shit. Why is this? I wish I checked this before. I very deeply wish I checked this before. I bet there was a... Yeah, right there. There they are. There's the group that is screwing old Mateo over. There's all those sitting sell orders right at 50. That's brutal. That's a brutal one. I was too busy chit-chatting. Son of a bitch. Oh. I just would have toggled it off. I knew the timing wasn't the surprise. It was like just that level that it was at, unfortunately. The level that it was at, unfortunately. Come on. Stop puking. Let's stop with the puking. Not cool, brother. Not cool. Okay. That guy has now disappeared. I might have a shot. There's a little bit of a, I mean, of course they could come back, but you could see as of 9:52 and some change, those orders disappeared. They're no longer there. So come on. Am I going to get lucky? Is your boy going to be the luckiest trader on this side of the Mississippi? Is he going to get lucky? Come on. I'd rather be, no. I liked it better the other way. There we go. Luckiest trader on this side of the Mississippi. Luckiest trader on this side of the Mississippi. Come on, brother. Come on. Luckiest trader. Come on. You got it. Just at this point, we're hoping on luck. We're throwing all skill out the window. Skill does no longer matters. Come on. One pop. One just God candle. Give me the fill. Give me the fill. There we go. Come on, brother. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I have faith in you. America! America is good. America. That's what we're talking about. That's what a country was founded on. Degenerately over leveraging a position. Love to see it. There we go. There we go.
Wall Street. Wall Street. Now my stock rising, got the eyes on me. Wall Street.
Didn't question it for a second. Didn't question it for a second. I see all the naysayers in there wishing for my demise. I see you guys. I see you guys. Not today. Not today. Maybe tomorrow. But I avoided your your unwell wishes. We have well wishes, but you really don't ever hear anyone getting unwell wishes. But I avoided your unwell wishes today. Looks like old Mateo might be getting the last laugh. Your confidence is inspiring. You mean my just pure degenerate like prayers? I'm like, dude, I hope this one works. Is that what you're talking about? All right, Tesla unfortunately taking a bit of a hit right now. Man, the 5-minute and the 10-minute are actually on the bearish side on the SPY. 30-minute and 4-hour obviously still bullish. But look at the Nasdaq. Bullish, 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 bullish. We took out that high from Wednesday. We're kind of targeting another high. The Nasdaq is not far away from its all-time high. Pretty freaking crazy. Pretty crazy. If you're paying attention to IWM, you might care about 238, 240, and 245. If you're watching QQQ, you might care about the breakout at 601, followed by 602, followed by 604. And if you're paying attention to SPY, there is support at 664. Then you're looking for the breakout of 666, the devil's number. And then from there, your reach target would be 670. So I did take the effort to basically all of these key levels on SPX, which once again, surprise, surprise. Where are we having issues? We're having issues at the exact same level I called out to you before the market even opened. So no one knows who's going to win this. It's been the titanic battle between the bulls and the bears at 6,670. If the bulls win, a legitimate high odd shot of going to 6,690 today. That would be your next bullish target. If the bears win, and we start to crack these recent lows, well, real shot of the downside gap fill at 6,649. So regardless of who wins, you have a decent runner opportunity in both directions. If I could tell you who's going to win the battle, well, if I definitively knew, we wouldn't be doing this. I'd be just sitting there trading by myself, making a bunch of money. But at the end of the day, no one can tell you. I get that there's a lot of people out there telling you that they know the algorithm that runs the market and this, that, the other thing. Please understand that they're full of shit. If anyone could accurately predict like that, like with any legitimate confidence beyond 50-50, please understand that they would not be selling you their secret. They would be a billionaire somewhere, just swimming. They'd be McScrooge or whatever the hell his name is, just swimming in money, swimming in it. So 10 a.m. reversal is what I'm praying for. Wait, reversing in what direction though? You want it down? Well, if you're hoping this goes down, please understand that we are actively rooting against each other today. We are actively rooting against each other today. Very, very much rooting against each other. Huh. We're going to see. I was just looking at some flow things. Didn't look the best right here. Mag 7, 947. We took a hit. And even though price rebounded, the options flow has not. So not making me the most stoked over there. On the other side, the SPY, it's trying to trend up ever since 942, but it's a bit flat. Like we're not getting that beautiful trend that makes it far easier to trade. So it's kind of no surprise that it's almost stalled out at, guess what? The key level. If we break and rip, congrats. We have a real shot to go another 20 points. However, this battle is proving to be a wee bit more difficult than the bulls anticipated early this morning. So we're going to find out, as whatever that commenter was pointing out. We have, at least anecdotally, I don't have the stats on it for you. Anecdotally, there has been quite a few of these quote unquote 10 a.m. reversals. So that's another thing to consider. I mean, we're a minute out, but also maybe 10 a.m. is going to bring a lot of bulls into the market. I don't know. Let's just be prepared for both. let's be prepared for both. I want the bulls to win, but sometimes if you just want something to happen, that doesn't mean it necessarily happens in the market there. It doesn't really mean it happens in the market. Can you do a deep dive on Oracle? There's a huge gap down on the daily chart. Yeah, but then you have to do the odds of, does Oracle commonly fill its gaps? Do you know that? Like, yeah, there is a downside gap fill, but there's also an upside gap fill right there. So on Oracle, after this earnings, that makes me feel a little bit more bullish. You're right to say that we are breaking this range and there is the downside gap fill. So from a technical perspective, I'd be curious of the odds of the upside gap fill versus the downside gap fill. There's two gaps on the chart, but also I want to remind you that this play is seemingly very, very intertwined with kind of the recent political happenings. Remember that it's kind of part of the trade deals with China and TikTok and Oracle being involved with TikTok. And even though Trump said it's a done deal, China hasn't really confirmed that. So beyond just technicals, that's like, it's somewhat of a political play as well that you have to at least be mindful of. But you are right to say there's a downside gap fill, but I would say it's negated by the fact that there's also an upside gap fill. So that's obviously consider both. Okay. Are we making this move? Are we making this move? Are we making a move? People
Order submitted.
are trying to sell at 75. 75. And we just hit a new high and it instantaneously got dumped. Jesus. All right, so there's people trying to get out at 24,975 and then 24,990. Oh, and now someone just came in at 42. Jesus. We just hit this and then someone was hitting the sell button like no other. Golly. Golly. That was a brutal one. Look at this. Just, they were hitting the ask like no other. And then boom, that just led into serious selling. And now you have people trying to dump it now at 40. So the level that jumps out to me is clearly 75. That's a lot of, like, I mean, you could see from the heat map, quite a few. Not as much. A decent chunk trying to dump it here at 40. There's a chunk trying to buy at 20. Actually, a lot trying to buy at 20. A lot trying to buy at 15. We're going to see how that goes. This is Bookmap, by the way. It's just a heat map of the sitting sell orders, the sitting buy orders. Remember, they're passive orders. They might get filled. The person might add to it. They might remove it. They might change it. But if you see something above, those are sitting sell orders. If you see something below, those are sitting buy orders. That's the heat map. The bubbles on the chart are trades that actually go through. That is, if it's green, that means the buyers, the bulls, were the aggressor, as in they're traversing the spread and buying on the ask. And then if you see a red bubble, like we just saw here, that's when the sellers are aggressive. They're traversing the spread and getting the sell on the bid. So it gives you an idea of who's the aggressor in the trade. But the bubbles are trades that actually have gone through, and then the colorized stuff are just sitting orders. They might get filled, they might not get filled, they might get altered, they might get added to, they might get changed. So they're just the sitting passive orders is how you would read what's on the chart right now. And once again, this tool is called Bookmap. But ever since we hit that high, right away people reacted to it, and it, like, instantaneously we got a new intraday high, and boom, it just led to quite a bit of selling. Some buyers just try to step in right here at 30. They got a fill, and now you have people down here at 20. There were people trying to sell at 50. They just pulled that order, and even the 75 is a bit smaller now. So they're knocking on this. They might just sweep this low and then bounce from there. I wouldn't be so surprised if that happens. I wouldn't be so surprised. Would not. What are we at? I wonder if they're going to crack this shelf right there. Man, yeah, they just wicked that. They
Order
just
canceled.
wicked that. Interesting. Right at 10. Right at 10. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Is it going to bounce back? Look at that. Just look at that wick. That's so disgusting. Just gets going to get everyone stoked. Huge wick. Rejected. Sell, sell, sell. Now we're even sweeping this, and I'm almost watching it to wonder if this is the rebound opportunity. If this is the rebound opportunity. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Are we going to bounce right out of this? That's the real question. That's the real question. We're right at that equal low. I'm curious if other traders, intraday traders, are watching this low that we saw at 952. The SPY and the Qs are right at that low. Is it going to, technically it already wicked it, but I wonder if it's just going to be that little wick fake out and then we get going. And then we get going. What is it going to be? What is it going to be? Here's a look at the flow. Mag 7 not looking bad, but not looking good. The SPY was looking good and then got cracked at 10:01. Got cracked at 10:01. How's the NASDAQ looking? NASDAQ, everything popped right after that 10 a.m. Right after that 10 a.m. Hang on, I'm setting some things up. I'm not intentionally ignoring you. I'm setting some trades up. Oh, I'm wondering if this is that sweep low. It took out the low, kind of that fake out. I'm wondering. Time will tell. Tesla had a great start. Intraday, people reacted to the 50. Short-term traders reacting to the psychological level. If you ask me, I think there's more meat on the bone just on the gamma structure setup, but we're going to find out. We are going to find out. Are we getting this? Oh, hang on. I do need to turn that off. Okay, cool. All right, I might as well mark out the intraday high because that might be important breakout levels. Might be important breakout levels. Add alert. Add alert. All right. We're going to see how this one goes today. We're going to see how this one goes. The SPY just took it. We look at that. Technically, SPX didn't make a fresh low here. That dip at 10:05, clearly different than the dip at 9:52. Interesting. Interesting, interesting, interesting. HUT, I'm getting an alert on HUT. I do find this one. I haven't played HUT ever. But that's a potential reversal right there. That's a potential. We should look. I've never traded HUT. Do we have any HUT 8 mining or crypto mining? Where's it at? It's currently at 35. Not loving that. There is resistance at 36, but if it could break that, you're talking about 40. But that's big resistance at 36. But it's also negative gamma. All right, I just locked in one here. Oops, hang on. My screens are all messed up. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Nope. This one. All right. I just locked in one. So I was long at 36, 35. So I'm moving this one to break even. I just locked in one at 75, and now I have a runner. So it went long there on that fake out at 10. I got barely clipped. Look at this. This stop was literally the lowest it went. I got stopped out at the worst point possible. Worst point possible. Then it re-entered. I locked in one, and now I have the runner. And honestly, I think I might just keep moving this up because I just want to keep moving the stop higher and higher is really the goal. So that was a good lock-in, 1-2 lock-in. And like I said, I have the runner. I hope it doesn't come all the way back, but whatever, it's a freebie play. Worst case scenario is that I'm out for break even. So this is what happens. I would say about 70-ish% of time, 7 out of 10 times, the stop does get hit for break even, unfortunately. And I know at first those odds maybe don't seem the best. You're like, well, hang on, why would you not just take this at 7 out of time? It's because those 3 out of 10 times that it goes, you can get like a 5, 8, 10 unit return. So instead of basically, let's say 7 out of 10 times taking 1 unit and you're plus 7, it's those other 3 times where you might be ahead like 20, 30 units, something like that. So it's very, very asymmetric, and it's asymmetric at no risk. As you can see, my stop's at break even. So hopefully this can just keep going. Hopefully it could just keep going. And I like that fill. I got lucky. So as much as I got unlucky here with getting stopped out, I got very lucky with the top tick there. And I just had it at that psychological level at 75. But apparently enough other people also reacted to 75. And at this point, like I said, mentally, it's not fun, but I am prepared for the fact that most of the time I'm out for break even. I'm not going to ever say it's like a pleasant experience, because you're always like, whenever you're in a trade, you're always like a little bit hopeful. You're like, yeah, but like maybe it like will work this time, and whatever. That's just like part of it. But it is what it is. 7 out of 10. Wow. Might as well not trade. That's exactly what you would say for a person who doesn't understand trading at all. Ron, you have to understand that you are making it very apparent to the entire chat that you have no idea about trading or really even basic math, which once again makes me deeply concerned about the state of education worldwide and most likely specifically in the US. But it's always interesting when people choose to chirp and they like just show how dumb they are. 7 out of 10 not trade. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Think about what you're saying. 7 out of 10 times you're at the same place you started, no risk. 3 out of 10 times you have a huge return. You're just kind of letting everyone know that you're stupid. One of my strategies has a 25% win rate, but it starts trailing stops at 5R. Sometimes can run to 10. See, exactly. It's you never really, just by your hit rate or your return, you need both numbers to know if you're net profitable. So really the equation we're talking about is referred to as expected value, EV, your expected value. If it's positive, that's obviously what you would need to be profitable. If it's negative, it means you're losing money. So the equation for it is the percentage of time you're right multiplied by your average win size. And then you take away the percentage of time you're wrong multiplied by your average loss size. So for example, you can have a strategy that is right 99% of the time. And let's say you go ahead 1 unit. But if in that 1% of time you lose 500 units, well, that's actually a net losing strategy. And vice versa. You could have a strategy that's right 10% of the time, but if you're right 1 in 10 times and it's 100x return, and then the 90% of the time that you're wrong, you're at a 1 unit loss, okay, you're up 100, you're down 90, you're net ahead by 10 units at the end of that. So remember, just by knowing your hit rate or just by knowing your average win size, your average loss size, you need both of those things together to find out if you're profitable or not. 7 out of 10 is not good considering the real-time drawdown. Yeah, it's one of the aspects, though, that I don't like about sim-to-funded trading, because in reality, that's how actual trading, like, it's a good strategy and mechanism to have for your own account when you don't have to worry about the unrealized drawdown, and you're 100% right to bring this up. 100% right to bring this up. And that's like one of the things about sim-to-funded trading that I think sometimes it enforces rules or it creates habits that are actually not good for you to be profitable in your own account. And this would be one of those examples, like without a doubt. Without a doubt, this would be one of those examples. Okay, anyway, let's do this. Tesla showing a little bit of life now. NVIDIA is going flat. Someone say qubits is taking off. Qubits. It is. Holy shit. I have no play on qubits myself right now. If the lottery had that kind of return, I'd buy the shit out of some tickets. Hell yeah, Hank. Plus dividing by time spent. Well, mine is automatic. So I have all the time spent that I used to build the strategy, but now a robot manages it for me. So now a robot manages it for me. Bitcoin making a great recovery. Maybe people realize it is finally a hedge. It's up to 114,000. Up to 114. I'm liking a bounce back in Tesla. If it can get back above 448, that could get really exciting. All right, we are potentially putting in a higher low here on SPX. Potentially putting in. So we got this blow off top. Do I want to take this on Vanquish? Do I want to take this on Vanquish? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Let me log into my web trader. Because your risk, I mean, the way I would play it, my risk is actually very, very close. So if I'm wrong, it's a paper cut. But I'm not liking this bar. What time is it? It's 10:15, 10:16. I'm about to get stopped for break even on this puke, unfortunately. I was hoping that we'd keep going higher, low, higher, low, higher, low. I was hoping to bounce off of 70, but we're getting absorbed back into that gamma level. Unfortunately, I got really close to getting wicked out right there. Really, really close. It's starting to break down the EMAs. It's starting to break down the super trend. This is going to get close. I think it's coming for me. I think it's coming. I think we're in the 7 out of 10 case. Well, very happy I was able to tick this exit here. Obviously, it would have been a bit better if it kept going. I was kind of eyeing up 25,000, and I honestly think there's still a good shot of us hitting that today. It just seems in the short term, I need to obviously protect my downside. So the degenerate part of me wants to say, yo, remove the stop, just put your target at 25,000 and step away for the day. But once again, that is the degenerate side of me and not necessarily what I should be doing. So, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. Man, I just feel it's knowing my luck. It's totally just going to wick me out here. Knowing my luck, it's just how we're going to be going today. But hey, sometimes that is how the cookie crumbles. That is how the cookie can crumble. It still could be a higher low. I know that we took out this low at 1013, but the last major low, that would have been a beautiful setup if we just bounced right off of that, kept going, and it tried to go for a minute or two. After we got that Orbo breakout, they took out whatever the 30-minute. Oh, just a little fake out here. Am I about to get wicked? I think I am. I'm about to get wicked. It's really close. Look at this. And to clarify, if I get hit, it's just break even. It's taking me out at the exact same value I got in, maybe plus a tick in my favor, just in case there's a bit of slippage or something like that. And maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe we just randomly bounce here, which I find that when it comes to me in trading, I'm not the one that should be betting on luck by any means. I find that arbitrarily, I find that I'm kind of like what we saw back here at 10:04, where I just got wicked out literally to the tick. Actually, it might have overshot it by one tick.
Order canceled.
Yeah, it just fucks me over. Yeah, so break even. It happens, but dude, just something about it. Something about it tells me that if I just stepped away and just let it do its own thing, that we would be at 25,000 at some point. Oh, and as much as that's, I feel like it's a dangerous thought process to have that, because like then eventually you do it. Yeah, I mean, just identify, like, look at these support levels. Are we going to bounce out of 10:04? Are we going to bounce out of 9:52? Is it just going to be these little wicks right here? Or we just come support, even the SPY, support. We did overshoot 70, but now we're on the 1 minute. We're at this 50 EMA, and we're also at where we bounced earlier. So I'm hoping it can hold. We're going to find out. We are going to find out. How close did we get to the pre-market high? Kind of close. We got up to, on SPY, we got up to 665.67. And here we got up to 665.25. So a little less than 50 cents away from that pre-market high, which is still very much on my radar today. Still very much on my radar. 665.67 right here. Are they just going to wick people for the third time today and bounce it right out of this? I'll take a stab.
Order submitted.
Huh. I basically got back in right where I was. I didn't realize that. I'm just basically taking a stab at this. I'm just saying, oh, did they wick people out and now we bounce back? If I'm right, great. I get to ride it all the way up. That's a good return. If I'm wrong, it's a paper cut loss and I'm risking the recent low. It's not really that big brain of an analysis. It's basically just saying, hey, minimal risk, higher reward. Even if you're right, 50% of the time you're going to be net profitable. Is this one trade going to be the one that is the right 50%, wrong 50%? I have no clue. No clue. But I forgot to do confirm and send. Cool. I'm throwing in my Vanquish trade. $658. I'm throwing a trade on Vanquish. Confirm and send. Create orders. All right, yeah, on Vanquish, I got some SPX 0DTE 6675. I am long calls. My average fill is 650. Obviously, my risk is this recent low that we saw at 1020 this morning and 650, which means I am targeting $8, going for $1.50 on 10 contracts. Currently break even. Once again, SPX long calls 0DTE 6675. I have 10 of them. I got to fill at 650. I'm targeting $8. $8, which I should be able to hit if we come back to this intraday high, and my risk is this recent low. So in terms of risk reward, I like the setup. I like the setup. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, I'm almost wondering if I should move my stop to break even now on that wick play right here. I took, as you guys heard, I took this at 1021, risking this recent low. I'm wondering if I should move the stop up to break even. I'm wondering. Here's the play. I could just do another free play. That probably is the right move. Yeah, whatever. All right, I'm doing it. I moved the stop a little bit early, but why not? And if I could fill this, great. The second, I'm long too. Right here, you can see I'm long too. Finally back in on the green on the day. And if this can fill, that would be awesome. Stop's already at break even. And if it's a runner, it's a runner. You never know when you're going to catch a runner. 50% of the time, it works all of the time. You never, ever know. It's all about, can you be disciplined enough to respect your risk? That's what's in your control. The bars going up or down are, in fact, not in your control. They are not. And I'm almost locking this one in. We're getting close. We're a little over halfway. Long calls, 6675, same play. I'm in at 650, currently trading at 750. I'm trying to get out at $8, 760, 770. Like I said, I'm trying to get out at $8. Should be a $1,500 return. Should be a $1,500. Come on, a little bit more. I saw 770 for a second there. Come on, do I hear $8? Unrealized is up about $1,000. Oh, we took a little bit of a smack there. A little bit of a smack. All right. Looking for the SPY to get back to this pre-market high right here. 665.80. 665.80. Pre-market high at 6:30 this morning. Here's a look at the flow. I feel like I haven't checked that in a second. So the Mag 7 not really trending. S&P 500 did pump, got hit, looked like we were about to recover. This recovery, a little bit lethargic, doesn't make me necessarily feel, oh, did I get a fill? It's at the ask. Come on, I'm off by 10 cents. Come on, $8, $8, $8, $8, $8. There we go. No, I didn't get a fill. Fuck. It was so close. It flashed it for 1 second. Just not enough volume traded at it. So close. So freaking close. So close. Come on. Come on. Is the second time a charm? Come on. It was right there. It was right there, 770. I'm looking for this to say 8, or really 810. That would guarantee the fill. So close. Son of a bitch. No way I get that unlucky. I can't get that unlucky twice today, right? I can't get that unlucky twice today. They wouldn't do that to me. NVIDIA's looking good. Coins up 5%. Hood's up 7%. Ripping. Hut's up 5.9. Oracle's a little red. Palantir's battling it out at 180. Tesla's at... Let me know if Tesla breaks above 446. Also, let me know if Tesla breaks down below 441. Oh, locked in right there. Went from unrealized P&L to day realized P&L. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. 1.5K locked in. So I'm good. I'm good on the day. This account's up about 3K. So had a decent trade on Friday, had a decent trade today, and I don't want to overstay my welcome, so I'm going to shut that down. Not a bad deal. I'm still long these NQ contracts. I'm almost wondering if I should move it up. Finally back net green on the day. The current unrealized gain is 1,000. So this level right here, 60, is basically my break-even point on the day from all the trades like netted together. So right where we're at, I need that. And I'm trying to lock in one a tick below the intraday high just in case people react to it. But I don't see that many people attempting to react to it. So I'm worried that maybe at the technical level, people react to 75, but it looks like right now people are structured at 82, followed by 90, followed by 25,000 flat, which that's going to be the real level all the way up there. Where are people? 90? What's this? I almost want to move mine up. I thought there was going to be a lot of people trying to sell right at the intraday high, but as of now, they're not. They're trying to sell at 91, Maybe I just go in at 87. Maybe I give myself a shot here and go at 87. Once again, it's a free play. The stop's already at break even. So, like, I'm not risking anything. Now it's just a game of how much profit can I actually get out of this trade. But just to clarify, stop is already at break even. I just moved my first profit target up from 74 up to 87 just because of this. I thought there was going to be a lot of people at 75. Currently, there's no one at 75, which is interesting. Interesting if you ask me. You have some people here at 70. You have some people at 80. Where are these? Okay, so they're kind of front running it a little bit. I'm just taking in. So there's these people at 70. Oh, but look at all the people are lined up at 91, 92. That's why I moved my order down to 80 or right below it at 87 now. So it's kind of like this. If we could take out 70, I think there's a pop up to 91, and I'm trying to take my profits just before it. That's the thought process. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. If it works, I'm going to seem really smart. If it doesn't work, I'm going to seem pretty freaking dumb. So we ran right up to 70. If we could take that out. I'm getting an alert on Oklo. Oklo? What's the deal with Oklo? This thing can move for sure. It can move. I haven't played Oklo once, and I've been jealous of all the people making money off of Oklo. I've FOMO for sure. It's trading at 120. Low vol point. So if we can get above 120, we could be talking 130. It's right here. You have support at 118. 130. Okay, I think I might play that one. I think I might play a little Oklo. First time playing Oklo. First time playing Oklo. First time. I'm a first timer on Oklo. All right. I got a little bit of an Oklo position. First time ever. All right. If you're in the Discord, I'm taking a quick screenshot, throwing that in there. First timer. First timer, first timer, first timer. All right. If you guys are curious of what I'm seeing a low risk entry, basically a 1-to-1 on the first target of an upside gap fill at 130. And then if it breaks and runs, I'm looking at 145. And then from there, probably people are going to load up at 150. Checking this. Okay, great. If we could get above 120, that's going to offer a backstop. It's going to offer support. Reasonable distance to run up to 130. Some people are playing the 135. It's a stock that has a strong trend. That's a crazy trend. When it gets going, it can really get going. Upside gap fill. I guess I could look at the hero on it. We could see the flow. It just started picking up right here. Kind of actually got hit. Weird trades. And then you could see starting at 1027. People started buying calls, longer dated calls, and also getting out of some of these puts. So it hits my criteria. It's not my biggest position, but I don't know. It's a new position. It's a new position. Where was that? Oklo. I should probably move this higher up so I can actually watch it. Oklo. It's up 9.5%. As a day trader, I wouldn't be chasing this because it's chasing, but I'm not day trading it by any means. It is definitely a swing trade because remember, big money comes from big trends. That's how you make money. You ride big trends for a long time. Big trends are inherently a function of time. So if you want big money, you have to be willing to be in it. I know there's a lot of people who, for one reason or another, want to be day traders and they think that's where it's at, but it's not. I'll tell you the secret. There are very, very few people who have the skill set necessarily to be a net profitable day trader over any serious amount of time. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying it's easier and you'll probably make more money as a swing trader. And then the easiest thing you could do is be an investor, but you're probably not going to make as money. Like if you took the best swing trader against the best investor, the best swing trader is going to be better, but it takes more skills. While day trading, there are few and far between that could actually be net profitable over multiple years. I'm not just talking about this trade or that trade. I'm talking about like a long time. It's just the math ain't mathin'. To make big money, it's a function of time. Big money comes from big trends. Big trends are a function of time. Inherently, wherever you go in one day, you could go farther in 1 week. You could go farther in 1 month. You could go farther in 1 year. Inherently, any big movement, which is what you need to make a lot of money, is always going to be a function of time. Right swing, more time, more money. Yeah. Day trading is a coin flip. Yeah, it can be. But remember, you can win money flipping coins if you understand the proper math. That's the thing is you definitely, I'm not saying it's impossible. The best day traders I know are actually premium sellers. That's probably if you're like, no, Matt, I want to be a day trader and I'm not doing anything else. My daddy was a day trader. My daddy's daddy was a day trader. My daddy's daddy was a day trader. So gosh darn it, I'm going to be a day trader. If that's what you want to do, if like for some reason you feel like there's like a cosmic force pulling you towards being a day trader and you're like, I just got to do it, it's probably best for you to sell premium. Really. It is. I get that there's a lot of people who want to buy 0 DTE calls and want to buy 0 DTE puts, and in individual instances, it might work greatly, it might not work, but I'm talking about the net situation, which is what you should care about. The net situation is the important situation. And when you look at that, just the odds are so much better to not be a day trader. It is. Is Buffett the best investor? It kind of depends on how you define best. I would say the best investor, we should define it as the best return relative to risk taken. And I don't think that Buffett, I know that Buffett, by that definition, is not the best investor. I think the best trader of all time is Renaissance Technologies, specifically the Medallion Fund. And that would be the firm that was created and operated by Jim Simons. So I think he's the best trader of all time. And they had two very, very different approaches to the market. I'm about to get stopped out for break even again. Fuck, dude. Yep, I just got stopped out for break even.
Order canceled.
Shit. It's just going to keep fucking doing this to me, isn't it? Well, it didn't hurt me at all, obviously. That's what a break even is. It's just, it kind of gets frustrating. And like, it's weird because I know the math of it. I know more likely than not I'm going to get stopped out for break even. But it's still, I mean, it doesn't mean you're not hopeful that you caught a big fish, you know? Do you feel the same way about futures day trading as well? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's possible. It's just very, very difficult. And I think the average retail trader does not appreciate what you have to do and how good you have to be
Order
to
filled.
be. What? The fuck? Order filled. On what? I was out for break even. What the fuck is it talking about? That was weird. Are there... Okay, I don't know what that was about, but yeah, no, I just, right here, I got in and out at the same value on this breakdown. It's possible. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's just your odds dramatically increase as a swing trader, and then they increase even further as an investor. I know a lot of people want to be day traders, but I'll remember most day traders, and when I say most, I mean like we're talking like above 90% lose money. And that's just, man, Bitcoin, what a bounce back. I got tricked into going long here on the 24th. I was like, oh, this higher low. It's technically another higher low. I'm not going to chase it this time. I have exposure already to Bitcoin. I'm invested in Bitcoin. Maybe this breakout, a pullback. I'm going to be looking for the next higher low on Bitcoin. I'm not playing this one, but there is a bullish technical breakout right there. Damn, wicked out for break even. Son of a gun, dude. Son of a gun. It happens. It happens. But anyway, back to the discussion about like retail traders. Because of social media and other forms of media and influences, like everyone wants to be a day trader. But remember, most day traders lose money. When I say most, I don't mean just above 50%. I'm talking the high 90%. The odds are just that bad, and it has a lot to do with the data and the edges available in day trading. And when I'm defining day trading is getting in and out of the position the same day. It just, the math is not there. The math is just simply not there. Why set a stop loss if you are actively managing? That is what actively managing is. It's your stop loss. You never know when someone's going to report something. You never know if Trump's going to say something on Truth Social, especially coming to the world of SIM-to-funded trading. Your only shot to be like somewhat like good at this is like you can't take that many hits. And when you do take hits, they have to be small hits. So for you to do it, you have to be very, very good at your risk management. But just to sit there, what, you want to just watch the candle all day, every day, and assume that you're not blinking on the second that like Trump says something, or the, like, I don't know, Congress is shut down or not shut down, or I don't know, a random announcement of a new partnership with Intel and the next company, that to assume that you're going to be there every single tick and not take an adverse hit, I would say that's really silly. Really, really silly. Dude, that was the second time it wicked me out at my fill price. And it just popped from there. It literally went it went half a point beyond my stop. Dude, this is the day of Matt getting fucking wicked out. That's crazy. All right, we are holding 70 this time, though. That does seem to be a little bit structurally different now. We are successfully holding 70. Interesting. Mag 7, not really doing too much. NASDAQ, not doing too much. SPY just got a pop right there. We're not really that close to the Delta high reading, but price just got a pop. And what was it? It was call buying and put selling. It was about 50-50 each. About 50-50 each.
Order submitted.
Speaking of stop management, what am I at? All right. We're going to give this one more try today. Oklo, NVIDIA did pop going flat. Tesla did pop, gave it back, but found support at 442. I'm looking for the breakout of 446. CRWV was looking good past 15 minutes, not so hot, but did get up to 126. Palantir battling it out at 180. I'm looking for that intraday breakout of 181, but 180 is a key psychological level and gamma level. Oracle, rare red one on the day, Broadcom got going this morning, gave some back, but trying to recover now. Meta not looking the best. Microsoft was looking good, but past 15 minutes not so hot. Apple dumped this morning, but maybe recovering. It's at minimum going flat. Coinbase is now up 5.7%. Crypto is pumping. Hood is up 8%. Crypto is pumping. Hut is up 6%. Crypto is pumping. Netflix did take out support and then violently bounce back today. Open is having a red day. Remember, that's a pump and dump. Looks like quantum computing is catching a bit of a bid. Qubits is up 3%. Semiconductor still looking good. AMD's up 2.5. MicroStrategy, crypto's pumping up 4.6. BITX is up 9.5%. SoFi is down. DJT is slightly up. Ripple slightly up. Solana slightly up. Texas Roadhouse slightly up. Bonds are higher, so yields are dropping. Gold hit an all-time high. Vol is dropping, but it was elevated a bit this morning. ETH is trading at 4.2. ETH is trading at 4.2. Interesting. Tesla, CRWV, Palantir, Oklo. We got that technical breakout. NVDA. I mean, this might, like, we pumped, then it's flat. If it can just really get going there. If it can get going. ASML, I mean, that's going to be another one in the semiconductor sphere. The whole semiconductor sphere is looking pretty solid. So it would be abnormal for one of these to not be doing well when the rest of them is looking real good. Well, I'm hoping this higher low at 1035 holds on the SPY and the Qs. I'd love a follow through on NVIDIA. I'd love a follow through on Oklo, on Tesla. But we are kind of now clearly getting to a little bit more of a quiet point of the day. A little bit more of a quiet point. Come on, bulls. How about them bulls? Let's look at the structure. We haven't checked that out in a second. Let's zoom in here. All right, clear resistance at 6,700. We had resistance, and now it might act as support at 6,670. So we're kind of playing this bound. It looks like this call credit spread right now, they can't be feeling too good, but it looks like there's now another call credit spread in play at 6,700. So, and there's people playing 90, 95. So that kind of needs to be updated a little bit. So if you're bullish and you think we're going to get a follow through, that would probably be a good place on a 0 DTE time frame to maybe think about locking in some of your money. Once again, 6,700. But you want 70 very much to hold, because if it doesn't, we're talking about a fall back down to 50, which would be the downside gap fill that we have yet to get today. You could also watch the pre-market high. That might be another interesting level. I'm trying to play the current breakout right here on the NASDAQ for my 0 DTE trades. And obviously I have all those swing plays that I think are actually looking somewhat decent right now. They're looking somewhat decent. Remember, you have a day and a half left to take advantage of the current Apex deal. Not only is it 80% off, but with that code Goonie, the upgrade fee from eval to performance accounts, it's way cheaper. Instead of being $140, it's now like $85, I want to say. So that specialty deal is ending in a day and a half. I will remind you once again tomorrow, but I just want to let you know, Apex, one of their deals, it's not the best ever. I would say this is the second best deal offering that they do, ending in a day and a half. So if you need a new Apex account, don't forget to use that code Goonie. And then obviously also a shout out to Public, the main major stream partner of the day. That is pinned to the top of chat. That's in the description of the video. Check it out. I think you're going to like it. I mean, if you're an options trader and you want to start earning those rebates, why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Where are we at? Tesla, NVIDIA. NVIDIA is starting to pick up a little bit here, team. NVIDIA is starting to pick up a little bit. Coinbase as well. I mean, here's Bitcoin's just ripping it. Bitcoin's just ripping it. Why is Hood pumping today? Because of crypto. Hood is basically becoming a highly correlated play to crypto. He wore it in his video yesterday, so just logically, the sangria got to him. No, it's actually because I just left it on my chair. It's cold in my studio, so I've been having it as an extra shirt here. Extra shirt in the studio. Bitcoin is looking good, which is elevating a lot of the crypto-related noise, coin, hood, MicroStrategy, BITX, then semiconductors, NVIDIA, AMD, ASML, all the semis, they're getting a good pump as well. But the overall market, it's trying to get going, but it's having a real tough time getting this high. 690. What was on SPX? Does anyone know what the pre-market high was? If I go over to 15-minute, what was it? This is showing like 80 something. 82 maybe? 83 on SPX, maybe the pre-market high. What time was that? That was 9 though. All right, so I probably need to go back even more time. What about on SPY? Oh, that's looking nice. Okay, so we made the high at 630, which was just above the high at 9. So it was probably 85, 6685, probably about 10 points above where we are now. Yeah, about a full $1 in the SPY. The 5-minute is trying to go from bearish to bullish in terms of ES momentum. Same thing on the 10-minute. This whole time, the 30-minute has been bullish. The 4-hour has been bullish. On NQ, the 5-minute is bullish. The 10-minute is bullish. The 30-minute is bullish. The 4-hour is bullish. And we're actually getting a technical breakout. So at this point, I just need to readjust some of this stuff. Oh, so tech is looking a bit better. SPY is looking a bit lethargic. Bitcoin is going. Gold is going. I thought that pump that we just had was looking pretty good, but there's just no follow through. In reality, we pumped for the first 15 minutes today, and now we've done a bunch of fucking nothing, team. We've done a bunch of nothing. A bunch of nothing. And the SPY kind of hasn't done anything at all today. So at least tech, this was the play. Unfortunately, that's been it thus far. We've gotten no real follow through. We got some wick outs here at 1020, but that's about it. That's about it, folks. Are we missing any like major news? Am I missing anything? Can I here? Yeah, I want to know if we're missing anything. Whenever you see someone like this, someone just aggressively bought $12.5 million worth of VIX 32 calls on what? Please understand that these are useless call outs. You don't know if they're buying to open or buying to close. So right here, aggressively bought. That is a true statement. But in terms of can you interpret that to be bullish or bearish? Well, it's completely different. Did they buy to open or buying it to close? And this is, you cannot discern it. So just be very, very careful of what you're seeing on the internet of like, oh man, that's bullish, I want to chase it. Oh, that's bearish, I want to chase it. Please be very, very careful because this person, it's just not right. And you see it all over, especially on Twitter. You see it on Reddit. You see it on all this shit. But they like that information. They just don't have it. They don't have the information of buying to open or buying to close. So is it right to say that they bought it? Yeah, you can track that. That's for sure. But the difference of buying to open BTO or buying to close BTC is very like, it's huge. It's like sometimes the exact opposite interpretation. So people post shit like that to get, it's just like engagement bait. It's just like, hey, it's a big number and maybe people are going to react to it. And that's all it is. It's just for social media engagement, and you can't use it in terms of like, okay, can you get good trades in? And I am not really seeing anything else. Is there any news? Is there any news? Not that I am really quite seeing. We're just kind of range bound now, unfortunately. A case of the Mondays. Cleveland Fed's hammock warns of challenging time amid inflation worries. EA going private in a $55 billion deal that will pay the shareholders $210 a share. Trump threatens mass firings of federal workers if shutdown isn't averted. Don't forget, Trump is speaking at 1:15 today, and then he's supposed to be meeting with some of his counterparts on the Democratic side later this afternoon. This TikTok-approved money strategy doesn't work. Financial therapist Delulu is not Solulu. What the fuck are they talking about? A TikTok-approved financial strategy? Run the opposite way. Run the opposite way. All right. From PepsiCo to Taco Bell, dirty soda is taking over. What the hell is dirty soda? Is the world going crazy, folks? S&P 500 rises as AI names NVIDIA rebounds. EA surges on takeover. Takeover. The credit market is humming and Wall Street is on edge. FEMA is paralyzed. Okay. There's nothing new there. What about on Bloomberg? Oddly quiet thus far. Trump threatens fresh tariffs related to furniture and movies. Whoa. U.S. gold reserve hits $1 trillion in value after a record rally. U.S. holds world's biggest gold stash, followed by Germany, Italy, France, Russia, China, Switzerland, India, Japan, and Turkey. So apparently we have 8.1 thousand tons of the stuff. Newman courts big oil as gas price and threatened political ambitions. Ugh. That guy. New York City mayor's race jolted by Adams' exit as Trump threatens funding. Okay, if you say so. I'm not really seeing anything else. Crazy quiet day. But hey, sometimes it's going to be that way. Bitcoin is still looking good. NVIDIA's flat. SPY and Qs are doing a whole bunch of nada. Well, folks, before I let you go, very quickly, just to show you the Mag 7 flow, we just got a little bit of a pump to 950. We're giving a little bit back over the past 5 minutes. Price seems to be having an overreaction, while the SPY actually had a big pump, and now it's kind of dumping. You have some 0 DTE put buying, and you have some 0 DTE call selling. So we had a nice upswing, and that really made me a little bit happy about this concept of hitting 6690, but we just keep getting sucked back into this positive gamma node, the gravity of 6670, which is right here. We cannot escape the gravitational pull. So it just is what it is at the moment. So we're just kind of waiting to see that one out. We're waiting to see what in the hell is happening over there. Well, folks, that's kind of it. Remember, shout out to Public, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. I love it. I think you're going to like it. I think at minimum, it is worth your time and effort to check it out and see if it is appropriate for you. And then also on the flip side of things, shout out to Apex as well. I just want to let you know you have a day and a half left to take advantage of that deal. Folks, that's what I have for you right now. As things are quiet, going sideways, don't rush a trade. Don't do anything silly like that. Take advantage of good setups, low risk, optimal reward with the overall trend. And ideally, you should be A-OK. That's what I have for you. I will catch you guys on the flippity flip. We'll have an update video later on today, and then we're going to be streaming once again tomorrow morning. I hope to see you there. Thanks for all the good vibes. Peace.